the bulk of the responsibility fell upon me, but I didn't have the title or I didn't have the pay. So really, I shot myself in the foot there. Welcome to episode 5, one of the rare parts of my life where I was stable. Ish. Stability. This holy grail, the ultimate prize. My stability came when I was working at a call center. Now, before you click off, hear me out. It was a call center, but the management was solid, the culture was amazing, and the pay was decent. So that was good. And I was there for about 3 years. When you find yourself stable, you're supposed to fight for that stability. So while you're being stable, you unstabilize yourself in a way to make sure that you protect your stability. And by doing what? Very often it's by being ambitious. So by putting yourself out to do more, you have to climb the ladder. Even if you don't want to. If you do what normally happens when you're stable, which is you've got your work, it's stable. Therefore, all the other things, your hobbies, your family, your spiritual life, everything you invest in those areas, it just doesn't fly. You have to be seen as investing in that stability, that area, the work, so that you can be deemed worthy of keeping it. Now, if you've seen episode 4, if you haven't, go watch it. Having had a serious case of instability, this stability was very welcome. It was a breath of fresh air. Now, was it my true calling? Not even close. However, it was stable. And like I said in the beginning, stability has this different social gravity way that it's stable without being stable. So I was introduced in that time with the notion of, or the concept of climbing the ladder. You have to be climbing the ladder. If you stay behind, you're going to be left behind, probably discarded with. So climbing the ladder. See, I didn't want to do that. I was quite happy becoming better at my job and keeping my job, staying stable. But everybody on my team was climbing the ladder. They were heading other departments or working in other departments, and I was becoming senior, and then the place was there for me to climb as well. So I was like, reluctantly I climbed as well. So I became a deputy team leader because I didn't really want to become the team leader. So various team leaders were brought in that were heading other departments, but really, in reality, they were ghosts. So the bulk of the responsibility fell upon me, but I didn't have the title or I didn't have the pay. So really, I shot myself in the foot there. In fact, I didn't mind being a senior on the team and having complex queries escalated to me. I didn't relish that, but I knew I could do it. Now, the thing that I did not like, in fact that I hated, is managing complaints from people on the team against each other. Now, I didn't have any training for it, and I didn't have any desire to do it, but they were thrust upon me. So I had to figure things out, mainly getting stuck, asking for help from my team leaders who were of no help at all, and asking, even escalated to the team leader's team leader that tried, but obviously looked like they were in the same position as me. Except they had the pay and the responsibilities, but not the training for such responsibilities. And that made me think of, again, the problem with or one of the problems with the structure. Something that I found out was similar to the myth that we entertain from way back when. The myth, for example, it's got many forms. First form, if you're a good student, chances are you'll make a good teacher. Not quite. Another form of the same myth, if you're a good worker, you can head the department. Or a good employee, you can become the team lead. Yes, you can. Does that mean that you suited for it? No, you need extra training. You need extra skills. Just because you know the job doesn't mean that you can do the managing of the people doing the jobs. Yes, okay, you can guide them through how to do the job properly, but there's a human element and a motivation element and a management element that you have no clue about unless you trained on it. But anyway, it's an extra skill. And another version of that myth that I fell for as well is thinking the analogy of the baker that thinks, oh, because I've been baking and I know the job inside out, I can very easily have my own bakery. No, you can do the job, but owning a bakery is not the same. You need extra skills. Now, another thing that is unofficially in the corporate rulebook is that you have to perform to prove that you can do the job, or possibly several jobs, before you can earn the title and the pay. In fact, sometimes they can give you the title, not the pay, because the architecture is the same. The incentive is to extract as much value as possible so that the profit margins go up. So a very easy way to increase the profit margin is to decrease expenditure, and salaries are a big expenditure. So if somebody can perform 1, 2, 3 jobs with the pay of one, they're a winner. So really, in my situation in that call center, in the end, being really running the show without the pay and without the title was a gold mine for them. But anyway, apart from that, I can't really fault them. But the place was nice. However, in the end, I chose to leave. It was one of the rare occasions where I actually chose to leave a job. In the end, at the back of my mind, obviously, I still had the dream. You know the dream of that episode, was it episode 2? Where I talked about my dream job. I still wanted to find that twin sister or twin brother of that job. A job that allowed me to use and improve my language skills. In fact, that was a line on my CV. Use and improve my language skills in a permanent role. Still remember it. And you know what? I thought I actually found that twin job. I'll talk to you about that next time. Stay tuned. Ciao. I don't really feel this script, but I'm gonna ad-lib it. I'm gonna improvise as you go up. So I never stop. A very easy way to do that is to pay people less. Reginald, I've had enough of you. So oh, it's raining. Can you hear that? Oh, it's raining.
Rudiano, here we go. Let's go.